welcome back to the Laurent Collective podcast.
Hello.
And this is the last of our summer series. You guys, summer's almost over.
No.
How do we feel about that?
There's 104 days of summer vacation.
If somebody knows that reference, please let us
Comes
know.
along just to end it.
Anyways, so this is our last of our 5 things series for the summer, and we have all 3 kiddos with us again for this one. And you can watch us on YouTube if you're listening on the podcast, or if you just want to listen, you can listen to it on the podcast, all those things. But we have been doing a couple of things that are focused around like the UK and London, and you guys have asked for more, and so we're going to do that. One of the things that we get asked about a lot is traveling to London now that travel is more open now. Traveling to London and what is good to do with families. And so all of us here, especially the kids, have come up with their top 5 things to do in London with your family.
I didn't.
Well, you didn't?
You
didn't have any input in these.
No, you're the people that wrote it down.
I wrote it down and made sure with them.
Can you read the handwriting?
Don't make fun of my handwriting.
You can't read your handwriting. It's literally
Okay.
impossible.
So, one of the first things that our family loves to do is to visit the Tower of London. And yes, it's a super touristy thing, and most of these things are touristy stuff because when you're visiting London, you're going to do touristy things. But
There's a reason they're touristy.
Exactly. But we're going to give you some tips on the touristy things. So, Tower of London. Why do you guys like Tower of London? Silence.
You get to see where people were murdered.
No, well, that's maybe...
Bit too dark.
It's not
Zane.
It's
wrong.
a bit dark. It's true.
There is dark places, yes.
It's
As
not,
far as-
but let's be clear, it's not scary.
No.
It's not scary at all. So it could be much scarier.
There's
There-
like, yeah.
It's like a legit castle.
Yeah.
Like, and
Literally.
they had legit
in
things
the
like
city.
that.
Like
Yeah.
you can see all
I
the...
don't remember.
And you get to
You
see
remember.
the crown jewels. You get to see what
Remember?
the kings and
Oh, yeah,
queens
no.
wear or wore.
Sometimes some of the crown jewels aren't there, though.
Yeah,
because the
they're
queen's
being
actually
used.
wearing them.
Yeah.
So that's cool because there is a whole room that you go into and it's like got these big metal doors and all the secure stuff like vault kind of things where
And
the
then
crown
they've
jewels
got
are.
So they can't.
What's
Yes.
what's the building like right in the center? That's got
white-
like multiple
The
floors.
White Tower,
White
right?
Tower?
I
Yeah.
thought
I
it
think
was, is it the White Tower?
think
It's
so.
the white. It's the white something.
I think it's
Yeah.
called the White Tower, and it has like all
Stuff
like
of knights.
yeah, like old like what they used to wear like as knights and
Weapons.
stuff like that. And so
And
that
then
is really cool.
What else is in that building that's funny? That you
Oh,
get to
there's a
see?
toilet.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds weird. Explain why it's funny.
It's a rudimentary like medieval toilet where you can see, you look through the hole and you can see that it like shoot the
The
waste
Good word.
the
After you
waste
go-
outside,
Yeah.
and so it was like what they used to use as a toilet, and it's just pretty funny.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, the reason why we like it,
I'll go
there's
there
all of those
again. I
things.
don't
I know,
remember.
and you can walk around the outside perimeters of the walls, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
They have. Why am I forgetting the names suddenly? What are the
The
guys?
Beefeaters?
The Beefeaters. Thank you. Well, the guys that give the tour though, they
What
have
if
a
you're
certain name.
vegetarian and you're a
Those are
beefeater?
beef eaters.
Are they Beefeaters? Okay.
Mommy, what if you're vegetarian and you're a beefeater?
Mommy,
That's a good question. Yes.
Mommy,
Yes.
isn't it that isn't last time when we tried to do this one that Jade said that in the Tower of London there were crows?
Yeah,
Yeah, there are
And
crows there as well.
If
They're actually
If
not crows. They're
they're
ravens.
Or ravens, yeah.
ravens.
and
So
then yeah.
they think if they leave the tower would fall.
London
Yeah.
would fall, not
London.
just
Yeah.
the tower. That all of London falls if those ravens leave. So that's kind of cool
obviously
because
not
sometimes
true.
there's baby ravens too. Sometimes.
I've
And
never
they're
seen
like
that.
they're like they stay in the
Cages.
area. Well, they're in cage. Some are in
But-
cages, but some
yeah.
are walking around and stuff. They often have like interactive. What do you want to call it? Like
Performances.
actors doing stuff. So there's like a one with this big dragon that they fight.
don't know if that's
There's
still there.
There's a polar
Also, we
bear.
like watched that for like 2 seconds.
There's a polar bear.
the dragon one. That
I
is
remember-
not true. When
I
we were
re- I
there.
That's not what happened.
You were asking us not to keep moving. You wanted to watch it.
I go there again because I don't really.
You don't remember. It's been a little while.
It has been a while.
I've
'cause-
been there
yeah.
so many times.
But then also, if you want to see the changing of the guard, I know everyone goes to Buckingham Palace for that. And yes, there is like a lot of soldiers that show up for that and that kind of thing. However, what we would recommend is watching the changing of the guard at Tower of London. So they're guarding the crown jewels. They're in front of the building that has the crown jewels. And there's usually 2 guards standing there. And think it's every hour that they change. You could probably find that out by Googling that, but they change. And it's right there. So, I mean, you are so close. And when you're watching at Buckingham Palace, you're like looking through the slats of the gate and trying to like take a picture and stuff like that. Here at Tower of London, you are so close. Then you don't, things we want to make sure you know are what.
You can get in the way of them, and they will
pay attention where they are.
They will yell at you. So.
And don't go and try and take a
very
picture
well.
next to them. They'll yell at you as well. Just get a picture of them. You can get a picture of yourself with them in the background, and that is fine, but they are pretty serious, and they will scare your kids if they yell like that. So don't tell your kids to go up and stand next to them to get a photo.
Yeah.
Just have them be in the background, because if they yell, it can be scary. We've not done it, but we've watched plenty of tourists do it. We're like, oh, no, don't. We're trying to warn them, and they do it. Yeah. Anyways, and so that is a great place to see that, because you are really close, and they walk through the crowd and everything like that.
It's a really good place to be as a family.
I want Mommy to take a photo with them.
You want me to try that and see if they yell at me? And a little tip we would recommend if you're visiting London and you're going to the Tower of London and Kensington Palace, because a lot of people go to Kensington Palace a lot. Veda loves Kensington Palace because she loves Queen Victoria and stuff. If you even do just both of those, we highly recommend purchasing the membership.
You can also do an audio tour.
Yeah, you can. But if you do either of those, you should definitely purchase the membership, because you'll save money doing that. Even though I know if you're visiting, you're probably not going to use it again throughout the year. But if you went to those two places alone, it ends up saving you money. If you're a family, I'm not sure how it would be if they're like two people or something like that. And if you want to buy souvenirs and stuff, you get a discount on those as well. So and then we recommend going on the tours with the Beefeaters, because they'll give you all the history. They read the crowd. Mom and Dad have done stuff like that. You guys usually say you don't want to wait. Hold on a second. And they read the crowd, so they won't tell the scary stories if there are a lot of kids in the crowd and that kind of thing. The fascinating thing is those people live at the Tower of London, so when you're walking on the edges, you can look down over the side and see like their houses and stuff. So that's kind of a cool.
I'm pretty
thing
sure
as
that's
well.
where like the Beefeaters live.
Yeah, exactly. That is where they live.
That's what Mom just said.
What were you going to say, Veda? I'm sorry.
Also remember where we went on our date.
Kensington Palace.
Yeah, that's a different place than what we're talking about.
I'm surprised
There's
that's
a
not on this list.
corgi teddy.
Oh, yeah. Kensington Palace would be number like 6 probably, but
There's
okay.
a corgi
No, it'd be
teddy.
like 22. What do you mean?
The boys don't like it, but
It's
that's
a
all right.
corgi teddy.
Veda loves it, so
Wait,
your kids will love different things.
So Kensington Palace is which one again? I know. I'm pretty sure.
Right
I
in the
know
middle
what
of
you're
Hyde
talking
Park,
Yeah.
and it's got the big statue of Queen Victoria in the front of the palace.
yeah.
Okay, so Natural History Museum is our number 2 place, and I feel like this hits all of you guys like it for different reasons. What would be a reason that Natural History Museum, and here's some things that you can watch if you're coming to London. For the Tower of London, which Minions movie is it that they break into the crown jewels?
Maybe the first
one.
No, it's not the first one. It's when Sandra
Minions.
Bullock plays
It's
the...
just Minions.
Okay.
The
Anyway, so
first
that's one for
Minions
Tower of
movie.
London.
Also, what you're saying? Like they break into it, but the thing is, it's not.
It's not
None of
actually
it's
Tower
live
of London.
action.
No, I
it's
know.
all animated. So
That's
I don't
okay.
know. I don't know why you say it like
And
it's
then-
live action. It was
It's
filmed
not the
there.
same. Don't
very
listen to Maya. Don't listen to Maya.
Okay. However, wouldn't you recommend them watching the Paddington movies before they come to London?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. At least you all
Paddington.
agree with me on that. So don't. The Paddington movies feature the Natural History Museum, which are fun, but also a ton of other stuff in London. So it will make you excited to be in London. Why do you guys like the Natural History Museum?
Because my favorite
Big whale skeleton.
is
Science.
history.
You have to talk up a little bit.
Is history.
Is history?
I thought it
Yeah.
was science. When did that change?
Well, she likes both science and history. She's allowed to
I
like
like
both.
art,
I mean-
science, and history.
What is something you like the Natural History Museum?
The
The dinosaur section, probably?
things.
Yeah. The
I
dinosaur
don't-
section
Kind
is
of like
cool.
it in general.
They have a lot of interactive stuff just for like the kids and that sort of thing, but they also have a lot of stuff that you can just read or find some really interesting things about
Mommy,
Yeah.
what is on display.
what about the thing?
The thing.
The thing in the Natural History Museum that's kind of like the chill place. If you have the thing, you can go there and.
Oh, if you have a membership.
Yeah. The like lounge.
The
Yeah,
lounge is
it's
really nice.
nice.
We'll say, surprisingly, you'll be surprised at this because when I say this, and as people who have lived in the United States and travel a lot in the United States, museum food is usually disgusting and rubbish, and you don't want to spend money on it. They're like salads that have been out for a week. All the museums here actually have pretty good food.
Yeah.
I would say the Natural History Museum is at the Natural History Museum and V&A, Victoria and Albert Museum are at the top of the list when it comes to quality food. So if you want to eat someplace, it is slightly expensive, but it is the desserts at the Natural History Museum are really good. So if you want a treat, that's a good place to get it.
I think the Natural History Museum is just, there's everything and anything there. Like, it's really cool as far as like, there's amazing dinosaur stuff. There's just the history and like lots of taxidermy of like different animals from all over the world.
There's a ton of space.
There's a ton of stuff about space
stuff. There's everything. They have like a interactive thing with an earthquake that you can be a part of, which
Beta
is really
doesn't
neat.
like it.
There's also a dinosaur animatronic.
There's
the
an
T-Rex.
animatronic. Right? Is it right now that they have the big moon that you can go in and look at? Is that
I'm
still
not sure
there?
if it's there anymore.
The big. What do you mean the big moon?
big
With the
moon.
escalators.
Oh
no, you
not
go through
the
that, but remember there was a
one.
special exhibit at one point that you had the
I don't know.
huge moon and we walked into the
I thought
room
that
and
was
you
going
guys
to be
could
a
lay
permanent
down.
thing, but
I don't
maybe
know,
not.
it might be.
The moon. What?
Oh, you guys are so funny. Your memories are so short.
I remember that.
It's
I know.
because you.
Or like,
You
or
have short
recently they had
memory.
like a special exhibit, Jude, for what was there that we went and saw. That was really neat. They have really
Oh, the
cool
Fantastic
special
Beasts
exhibits.
one.
Oh,
we went
the
to.
Fantastic Beast one.
Yeah,
That was cool.
that was really
Something we should point out. So,
not every
Tower of London costs to get in. Natural History Museum is free. So, unless you go, bless you, unless you go to see any of the special exhibits, it's free to get in. Most of the majority of museums in London are free to get in. Do check, depending on what COVID rules are and stuff. They may have you book an entry time, but the entry time is free. Veda, why are you messing with my arm? So, something we should have said.
Also,
so that's number 2
Wait,
is
Mom,
natural
what is
history.
Borisol Manlet?
So my handwriting is horrible, and Jude is trying to read what I
Borough
have as number
Market.
3.
How do you
Now,
Buzz.
Borough Market. How are you supposed to say it here?
Burra?
Borough
I
Market.
think that just shows that your handwriting's bad enough that you can read Mums.
So people.
My handwriting is amazing.
Veda,
My
you don't
handwriting
need
is
to-
literal calligraphy.
Okay, so people will say that this is a super tourist trap as well.
But it's good.
We
They have
agree,
some
but it's
good
actually
food.
worth it. And so if you're at Tower of London, so maybe we should have done this as number 2. Veda, can you sit up, please? We should have done this as number 2 because if you're at Tower of London, Borough Market is not that far away of a walk, and you can walk over the Tower Bridge, which is the bridge that you guys have probably seen.
Most people say it is London Bridge.
It's not London Bridge.
It's not
London
London
Bridge is very boring.
London Bridge is one bridge over, and it's literally just a boring bridge that cars drive over. And so
Boring.
Tower Bridge is the one with the 2, towers and all that stuff.
I want to go
Which explains its
to
name.
the top.
I don't want to go to the top.
No,
of Tower Bridge.
that
Thank
looks
you.
actually
we haven't
really
done that.
terrifying.
We haven't done that yet, but
I think that's more of a tourist trap, that part.
maybe.
Of going
Well,
up to
people
the
like
top.
doing it. So, anyways, you can very
Miss
easily
Fox
walk.
did it.
She did it. Oh, that's very
She
fun.
looked down from
Oh,
it.
that's fun.
Also, no, Borough Market, you can get
Okay, so
cookies
let's
the
talk
size
about-
of your head.
Yes, this is true. So the cookies. What else do you guys like
Oh,
getting there?
where's the
The
fresh
juice
pasta?
is good. They have this
Yeah.
juice stand.
There's multiple
Fresh
of
juice
those.
stand.
Wait, Molly, what's the pasta place called?
I can't remember the name of it. It starts with
There's
a
like
P.
a place that makes like fresh pasta.
And you would
dip
recommend
it.
what? Pasta
Gnocchi.
gnocchi. And they make it where they just put olive oil and cheese on it, and that sounds a little weird, but it's
so
good. They have a great tagliatelle. There are
A what?
It's
What's a tagliatelle?
What's a
it's the
tagliatelle?
thicker noodles. You guys have eaten that too.
Oh, it's
Bleh.
the
Like the flat square
Yeah, they're
ones?
flat. No, not square. They're those.
I mean,
that's
re-
ravioli. That has stuff inside of it. Tagliatelle
no,
is
no.
long and they're thicker.
I mean, like the long ones that are
like
kind of like
noodles.
rectangles.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
Mommy, like noodles?
Yes,
like
noodles.
Snoodles.
Can you
Anyway.
sit down, Maida? Anyways,
Anyways,
so that's
that's a
one.
good pasta
What
place.
is the donuts that they should get? Do you remember the name
I
of the
can't-
place of the donuts?
Krispy Kreme?
No.
I don't know. I'm naming donut places I know. I'm just naming.
Bread Ahead.
Oh yeah, Breadhead's there.
Bread Ahead, and they're not like when you think of
remember
donuts,
those
they're not like
You can get the
Krispy Kreme.
Simpsons.
They are like a.
Donuts.
They're just a donut that has sugar on the outside, and they stuff cream in the inside. So it could
That's
be.
not true with all of them.
Well, the
Not all
majority
of
of
them.
them.
Mom,
So there's
we-
things
we
from
have
like
that one-
Nutella to what?
We have that one donut. It was called like the Galaxy donut.
That's a
thing, and that
different
was-
place.
That's a
That's a
different
donut
place.
I thought that
time.
was-
That's
no,
donut time.
It's a different place.
Mommy, we went to a place that
That
was
is
a
a
long
different
time
place.
before we discovered donut time. That had that. I think it was like a special one that Breadhead was doing, and then they got rid of. And it was like A donut.
Okay. All right. Whatever. They
And it
don't know
looked
if they
like
have
a
that.
galaxy, and we all got
I think
it.
we're gonna have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
No, like it was like in a
Which
shipping
one has
container
the
thing.
Can you tell our kids get a little excited about Burr Market here?
Which one has the Simpsons donut?
That's,
that's-
donut time.
that's funny.
Which there's a donut time. There's donut times all over London, but there are several donut times that there's one that's really close to Burr Market. Burr
Moving
Market, though,
swiftly on.
yes, exactly. Burr Market has tons of stuff though. If you want to get an adult beverage, there's stuff that you can do there.
That's
you can go and
boring. No
like
one's
taste
an adult
honey.
beverage.
You can get cheese. You can get bread if you're staying and you want to take some
Cheese.
stuff to have for
The
dinner
cheese
or for a
shop is-
picnic.
The cheese shop is kind of intimidating. The cheeses are huge.
Well,
in
yeah, they'll
there.
cut it for you.
I
And
know,
let you
but
taste
still,
it, though.
they're humongous.
Yeah, there's everything from dumplings.
There's
There's
like raclette.
Wait, there's dumplings.
sometimes the raclette place hasn't been open recently.
Wait, what? There's dumplings.
Yes, we've had dumplings there before. Goiza?
We
had
haven't
those
been
before.
to Burr Market in a while.
It
have
has. We need to go. You guys
There's
are
like
your
goat
memory.
ice cream.
There
Yeah,
is
we
goat.
got
That's how- goat milk ice
Mommy,
cream.
we
Not
got
goat ice
Mommy.
cream.
Yeah.
Mommy.
Goat ice cream.
Sorry.
Yes,
Different.
Mommy.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Mommy,
Yeah.
we got a short memory from you.
Okay. Anyways.
That's a fact.
So Burr Market is
Yeah,
a definite
this is
yes, and we do like you can get food at Burr Market, and there's not a lot of places to sit there.
True.
And then you can walk back to near where Tower Bridge is, and there's a grassy area, and you can sit and have a picnic there, and it's a really cool view because you can see Tower London across the river, and the bridge is right there as well. Okay.
Oh yeah, that area.
Number 4 is the Transport Museum. It has been a while since we've been here, so your
The
guys'
what?
memory is
The
going to be really
Transport
with
Museum.
the
tubes
buses
and
and the old tubes in there, the old tube trains in there.
It's not ringing any bells.
You don't-
The
It's
one
okay.
in Covent Garden.
It's in Covent Garden.
I can't remember. what-
And it's got
Okay.
a really cool gift shop.
We
It's
have bought stuff
cool.
at the gift shop before.
It is really cool. It's really
I
fun.
don't
Beta.
remember.
Okay,
I don't
so
remember anything.
we put this on our list because our kids were younger and they loved this. You guys have probably aged out of it, but if you have younger kids, it is super interactive. It's not that expensive to go in. This one does cost to go in, and it's got old buses in there that they can climb into and that kind of stuff. There's old trains.
Oh, the Transport Museum! It's just clicked.
I don't
Climbing into the buses.
Yeah.
Click, you got it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Man, we haven't been there in a while,
was I
have
when
we?
I don't remember the last time we were
Isn't
there.
that where a bus pillow came from?
No, that was a gift to us.
from Leslie?
No, from someone else. Anyways.
Leslie.
Anyways,
No.
so the Transport
Leslie.
Museum has all that kind of stuff. It's really hard to focus today.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is also what we recommend is the number one gift shop. If you are wanting to take home stuff from London and you don't want to buy like the cheesy cliche stuff, this has everything that you can think of
What do
from
you mean
like baby
cheesy
gifts.
cliche?
Like the stuff that every gift shop has, like the
Yeah.
places on
The
Oxford
Natural
Street.
The Natural History
Natural
Museum
History,
has
too.
a really good gift shop.
Yeah, but this one is like really focused on London, so they have
Yeah.
a ton of London stuff. They have everything from really cool.
Wait,
cups
is
and
that
mugs.
where
You
we
don't
got
have to
the
go to the
London
museum.
pillow from? Like the one that has all the train
Yes,
things?
that is from there.
So you don't have to go to the museum in order
To go to the
learn
gift shop, you can just go into the gift shop. So if you wanted to look at
Yeah.
stuff, even if you don't have kids with you, you can go in there. So that's the Transport Museum. Highly recommend that. If your kids love it so much that you're like staying a week or something like that, when you pay to get in, you get that is for good for a year. So you guys could go back to the museum again if they liked it that much. And the last thing that we have of number 5, we could go on with this for a long time.
The
And
what?
actually,
Princess Diana Playground.
Princess
That's the
Diana
only one I
Playground.
can read. That is the only
And
one.
what we'll do too is Veda, that's
Bad
okay.
headlight.
When we have a document that we share with friends that have asked for it, and we'll share it with you guys as well. That is just something you can download, and it has all the recommendations that we have as a family. Again, of course, some of them are going to be touristy, but we put some stuff on there that isn't so touristy as well, and some just tips of things like using City Mapper when you're here to get around because it will help you so much. So, last thing is Princess Diana Playground. Why do we like this? You guys you've been there very recently, so you should remember
Big
all this.
playground, big, ginormous pirate ship, bunch of different sections, just fun.
So it's a
playground.
big
massive.
playground.
It's massive. And it,
Um,
like, honestly, you could say that ship is probably like if you flipped it that way up, is probably could be as tall as these houses.
yeah, true.
To
Like
be
4
honest.
stories tall. Yeah,
Like
that's
those,
true.
It is a tall ship.
So there's everything from they have it broken up into sections, and it's supposed to be like different sensors and stuff like that. So there is
There's
everything
also
from
little small like if you have small children, there's a lot of small playgrounds.
And that's the thing. So there's this big pirate ship that like kids can climb on and stuff like that. But then you go to another section and there's a smaller climbing frame meant for little kids.
Yeah, it's like
there's things
like
you can
when
step on and they make music.
Mommy, it's the first area when you first walk in. There's like a wood section and a sand section for little kids, and then there's the big sand section.
There's swings.
They don't make music. They make sounds that are musical notes, which don't normally sound like music because it's just like 5-year-olds hitting them as hard as possible.
Except Zane when he
there's
every so
also great
often
places for the parents then to find a place. And
so then there's a grassy area that you can sit if you trust your kids to run around and stuff. The good thing is too, you can feel secure in there because they do not let any child leave. It's all in a fenced off area. And there are people that guard the gate, and they don't let any child leave unless there's an adult with him, and the child says, "This is my parent," and that kind of thing. Sometimes, if it's a really nice day and it's a super touristy time, you'll have to wait in a bit of queue to get in because they only let so many people into the park.
Which makes sense.
The other good things is there's food there. I mean, it's just food. It's not like anything to write home about.
There's ice cream,
and there's also toilets,
Yeah,
which is a huge thing. It's in Hyde Park, so if you're doing anything in Hyde Park, it's a really nice walk around Hyde Park.
It's near Kensington Palace.
It's near Kensington Palace, and it's also really close to like Notting Hill area. So if you wanted to go to like Portobello Road or something like that, it's really close to that too. But I feel like whenever we travel, and we've learned this recently when we went to Venice, like we couldn't find parks anywhere. Well, there was one that I think we ended up in that I don't think we were supposed to be in. That was a private park. But you weren't with us that evening. But if we can let them run for a little bit, then it's like, great, let's go on and do another thing after we've done that, or we can have like a sit down picnic or something like that. And so that's why we have put this on the list.
Yeah, if you go to London, you should have a picnic in a park.
Exactly. And that is something to know. Again, maybe we'll do a whole nother series on this, but when you're in London, you can eat very cheaply with your family if you make some wise choices. One of those things is almost every grocery store has what they call a meal deal, and so it can be a sandwich or a salad or a wrap or there's another couple of things.
Me and Elias, we went to Lidl and we got a meal deal where you could get like a sandwich, a snack, which is like a bag of crisps and a drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And you
basically every store.
The key is too. This is what Londoners always know is they have like all these drinks that are included in the meal deal. So if you want the like 3-pound smoothie, you can get that, and it will be in the meal deal, and it's cheaper.
Yeah,
so those
it's
are
like
little
3
tips.
pounds.
So that is like pretty much any grocery store has that. You can go in and grab that for all of you, or you can just get some meats and a baguette and some other salads and stuff and share all that stuff as well for a picnic. And we highly recommend doing that because there's lots of places to sit down. When I do hand motions, should I keep my hands underneath?
Yeah, but then that also looks weird because then you're just like.
It is very funny having your kids be part of this and they notice the things that are quirks that you do. Okay, so our top 5 is Tower of London, Natural History Museum, Borough Market, Transport Museum, Princess Diana Playground. And we will say, one thing we forgot to say with the Natural History Museum is if you are there, it's a great little pocket of museums right there.
There's the Science Museum right next to it.
My personal favorite.
Which one is it?
The Victoria and Albert Museum.
Yeah.
And most, again...
And there's bubble tea.
There's bubble tea in the little South Kensington area. And Hyde Park is not a far walk from there as well. Hyde Park is huge, so it's...
Except you have to climb up a hill.
Oh my, that is so hard. A hill. It's not that much of a hill.
It's not a hill.
It's not really a hill.
It goes up though.
Yeah.
So going up is a hill. Guess what?
So something too we would say is with any of these museums or any of the other museums you might be thinking about going with your family, a lot of them have family specific things to do at the museum. So for instance, we mentioned the Victoria and Albert Museum. They have little family backpacks you can get, and you can go into different sections. And like it's like an adventure, like a not an adventure hunt. What is that called?
Treasure hunt.
Treasure hunt, scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Yes, Veda.
Can I say it?
What do you want to say? Okay, yes, you can say that when we get done. And so look that stuff up, like the Tate Modern. They have an audio thing that we haven't actually done yet that is like audio music that goes with the paintings. So we highly recommend looking at that stuff that you can do.
Remember that one time when we had like the Chinese one and we had like to write my name or something, and then there's this one really helpful guy.
Yeah, and he helped you write the Chinese characters. And we found like, again, when you do some of those things, you see stuff in the museum you wouldn't normally see.
Or
like
really
remember when we found Leonardo's
sketchbook
or something, and that we had walked by it a ton of times and never saw that. So anyway, so those are our 5 things we'd recommend to do for your family. We'll make a download on LaurentCollectiveLearning.com that you can download, and it will have a whole list of things way beyond this. Maybe we'll do another one of some other things. Would that be good? Possibly.
Yeah.
Veda wants to say something.
No.
Like and subscribe, please.
So if you are watching on YouTube, it's so helpful for us to have other people find this, for you to subscribe and like, or like hit that little bell thing too. And then they're laughing
like
at
green
me.
screen, like, oh my god, here's the button right here, and here's the.
Anyways, and if you're listening on the podcast, please do same thing, like subscribe and leave us a review, because it helps other people find us, and it's super helpful to us with that. And if you're looking at ways to support our family and this kind of thing, I'm sorry, I'm not doing hand motions anymore. We have a whole website that has stuff for you guys to be able to download for free, or if you're interested in learning things from us, and that is called LaurentCollectiveLearning.com, or you can shop our products and stuff at Laurent Collective. Any other questions, guys? Things you want to add? No. Should people come visit London with kids?
Yes, they should.
Why did you say questions to us? Like we're gonna ask.
I don't know.
them
I don't
questions.
know. I don't know. Do
That's
these
not. No. What? That's not what she meant.
I did say questions. It's okay. But, all right, people should bring their family to London. It is a super family-friendly place. They just should do some walking to prepare, right?
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of walking involved.
Yeah.
A lot of walking.
But, so do some walks before you come. And there's lots of places to rest,
A long
too.
walk.
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you so much for watching, and we hope this is helpful if you are thinking about visiting London. Do reach out to us if you have other questions, too. And my daughter is mimicking, if you're watching on YouTube, my hand motions. And so we're going to stop before I make more. You guys going to say bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.